Nationwide, the pace of hospital admissions is at an all-time high for people under the age of 50. We did hit 1 million vaccine doses administered yesterday. That's good news because that's the first time that has happened in nearly 2 months. Our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, joins us from Scott, Louisiana. Many areas of that state are running out of ICU beds. David, good morning. Unfortunately, that's part of the story, too.
It is, Gayle. Good morning, my friend. Listen, for the first time in 16 days, yesterday, they did not set a record here in Louisiana for COVID-19 hospitalizations, but they've still got 3,000 people hospitalized statewide with COVID. This morning, we want to tell you more about a fairly new treatment that doctors say has proven to be overwhelmingly effective at helping to keep COVID patients out of the hospital. Inside of those IV drips is a powerful weapon in the fight against COVID-19, monoclonal antibodies, lab-grown proteins that help the body target and eliminate COVID infection. According to Dr. Thomas Gillette, Chief Medical Officer at St. Francis Medical Center in Monroe, Louisiana, they have become the most effective therapy yet.
It's done a great job of helping high-risk patients stay out of the hospital.
The therapy is becoming more available at hospitals and clinics around the country, but it is only administered after infection, within 10 days of the first symptoms, and before those symptoms get too severe. What type of sickness do you usually say that's too sick to receive?
If they are having profound oxygen requirements, continued high-grade fevers, dehydration, since July the 1st, we've given about 1,700 doses.
One of those doses went to 42-year-old Scotty Johnson. We were there when he got his infusion 3 weeks ago in Monroe as COVID was attacking his body.
It feels like somebody's choking you. You start coughing, but nothing comes out.
This week, we followed up with him, and we met his wife, Meg. They both got the antibody treatments right around the same time.
I just really started feeling good about 3 or 4 days ago, probably. But I feel like I'm like 90% now.
While Scotty did not get the vaccine, Meg did.
My wife got the antibody treatment on Thursday. I tested positive on Friday. On Saturday, she was back up cleaning the house and doing dishes and like it never even bothered her.
While the antibody treatments can be effective, they are not a substitute for vaccines, says CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus.
There's no question a vaccine is better than an antibody. But in the case where you're immune suppressed and you can't make a good response to a vaccine, they're lifesavers. So this is an important part of our arsenal, but it certainly is not the only weapon in our arsenal. Vaccines are the front line, no question about it, to fight a virus in today's world.
And that is something Johnson acknowledges he learned firsthand. Do you plan to get vaccinated?
Heck yes. Heck yes. My wife was vaccinated. I wasn't. She stayed sick for 2 days. I stayed sick for 10. And it was miserable. Absolutely miserable.
There you go, a firsthand account. Now listen, even with that antibody treatment, Scott said he felt terrible for 5 days. He said he couldn't sleep for 60 hours. So even with the treatment, it was everything he went through that led him to say, hey, listen, when I can get that vaccine, I'm going to get it. And, you know, lastly, I asked him, where did you get your information that led you to believe that maybe you shouldn't get vaccinated? And he said, social media. And I said, who were you listening to? And he said, not the doctors. But going forward, he says that's all he's listening to, the doctors.
Heck no to social media, heck yes to the vaccine. David, thank you very much for bringing that story home for us.